are very clear. Hey, good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, madam.
How are you?
We are fine, thank you.
It is now very hot. Can I help us open the windows, please? The time is very hot. Very hot. Yeah, so Madam Beatrice, I'm going to take you through establishing conflict and attacking conflict resolution management. So before I continue, I have the register there. So let me give you this register. You sign against your name. And remember not to sign for your pleasure. Don't sign for those who are not in. Just sign your own. So sign that as a and remember to write the date. Write the date. So our unit of competence is undertake. Undertake conflict resolution management. Session title is established. Establish conflict. Solution. And then our learning outcomes today is that by the end of the session, the trainee should be able to identify the causes of conflict. So that is the first thing that we have to be aware of. We need to, I think this one we have written something else here. Conflict causes. And then under our learning outcomes, we also have the first one we have said is identify the causes of conflict. And then second one we have is still the characteristics. It says the characteristics. The characteristics of conflict. So those are the things that we want to go through today in our session. So class, since we now have our phones with us and then we are having the connection of the internet, let us check quickly. We identify the causes of conflict. So I believe that we still remember in our last lesson that we had talked about conflict. Do we still remember?
Yes.
So what did we do the last time? You want to have some recap? One? We did what?
Yeah, we defined the word conflict.
Yeah,
That is the disagreement between two or more parties.
So we say
disagreement.
yeah, we divide the term conflict. We divide the term
Conflict.
yeah, so we have been told that conflict is
Disagreement.
yeah, she has said the disagreement between two or more parties. Maybe appreciate her? Yeah, that was it. What else did we learn?
We learned about types of conflict.
Yeah, sure, that is what we also learned. Can you appreciate her? We also learned about the types of conflict. That we are having many conflicts in our societies and more so even in the places that we come from. So straight away today, since I've realized that we learned that one and then we are now very okay in that, we now today want to look at identifying the causes of conflict. So let us search through our phones very quickly. We want to look at the causes of conflict. process of
Conflict.
Who can tell us? Yes, Esther?
One of the causes of conflict is poor communication. Another is misunderstanding or lack of clear information.
Yeah, so we talk of poor
Communication.
poor communication. So, and this guy also gone ahead and told us that the poor communication is misunderstanding. That is what? Misunderstanding. And then another one? Julie?
Power imbalance,
Power imbalance.
whereby there is an equal distribution of power.
Now, when we talk about power, all of us we understand that this mostly goes to the politicians, whereby they are fighting over power. Because each and every one of them every one of them want to be recognized being a leader. So that is why they are fighting over power. And then the third one, that is
Scramble for the limited resources.
yeah. So we talk of scrambling for the limited
Resources.
resources. So as we all understand that Kenya is Kenya a developed or developing country?
Developing and developing.
It is still developing, not just developed.
Yes.
So since now that our country is still undergoing the process of developing, we have some very few resources, and people are fighting over the few resources to make use of them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So due to that nature of having the few resources in our country, all people are fighting for the same, because everybody cannot get the same resources. Another one? That is a good one, yeah?
Different values and beliefs.
Different values and
Beliefs.
yeah, different values and beliefs. This mostly goes to religions and cultures. Because most of the people, due to their rich in culture, they find it very difficult to stay with other people. That's why you find them as it is very difficult for them to associate mostly with the other cultures. And then when you also talk about the difference of beliefs and Christianity, we find that some other religious beliefs find it difficult to share with others. Most people are not wrong, let me just use it for the sake of learning. Let us take, for example, the Christians and the Muslims. In most cases, they don't have anything in common because of their difference in the way of believing. Another one? Creed. Yes, we also have creed. Creed, we say creed is a measure whereby somebody cannot be satisfied. Yes. Somebody is ever wanting. That's why we normally say that human wants are insatiable. People cannot be satisfied. As you try to satisfy another need, another one arises. So due to greed again, some other people that have been in a position to get something, they are always eager, wanting to get some others again, and yet others are not gotten anything. Do we still have any other? So when I look at what I have, it is the things that the ones that which were also given them out. I had also that poor communication, that is poor communication, listening in most of the cases. And then the difference in values, that is to do with the culture, the religions, and the moral differences. And then competition over resources. Competition over resources, you have said that people are scrambling over the resources. Now, secondly, let us look at the characteristics of conflicts. The second one, we have characteristics we have to state. So since time I know is not on our side, we are going to state only three. Let us state the three characteristics of conflict. Very quickly, I will start in your phones. Let us look at the three characteristics of the conflict. We shall only state three of them. Who have gotten one? One. Characteristics of conflict. Just in your groups, wherever, just look at it through your phones, the characteristics of conflict.
Disagreement, obviously, they will be fights.
So they are inevitable. Yes, another one.
Dynamic process.
Dynamic.
Escalation.
Dynamic, you said dynamic process, huh?
Yes.
And then another one.
Interdependence.
Those are three. Let us still look at another one.
Involves communication.
Involves
Communication breakdown.
Now, these are the things, when we talk about characteristics, these are the things that shows that there is conflict somewhere.
Yes.
These are the things which are proving that there is some misunderstanding in a given community.
Yes.
We have said when we have the inevitable. That means that that conflict cannot come to an end. It always shows that there is a scratch somewhere. There is a scratch or there is a problem. So, the best things for all these things, after we are going to discuss about the characteristics of this conflict, we are now going to look at in our next lesson how we can solve this conflict. So first is that we want to know what shows that there is conflict. What shows that there is conflict? We have said that one of the things which shows that there is conflict, it is inevitable. The conflict cannot just come to an end without being solved. It cannot come to an end before it is being solved. And then the dynamic process. When we talk about the dynamic process, this one we are looking at a state whereby since there is a scratch somewhere, whenever any other thing happens, that person tends to remember about the conflict that you have always been having or the scratch that you have always been having in between you. And then we have also what? Interdependence. Who can elaborate more on interdependence? Who gave us that point? Yes, tell us who you want.
I think independence means when you cannot help each other, so you stand by one.
Yeah, very good. Can you appreciate that? In that case, whenever there is conflict, even when we go to our indigenous areas, whenever you have a problem or a scratch with someone, you cannot help that person easily.